What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Malika, and if you love traveling, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to travel more in 2023 and learn more about how to live outside the US. Go ahead, do it now. I just came back from a long trip with my husband where we spent time in the Maldives, Dubai, and Jordan, and while I had an amazing time, it would be completely dishonest to pretend like everything was all good on social media. Influencers have a way of making everything a highlight reel, and that is not what I want my social media platforms to become. So in the spirit of always being transparent with you guys, I decided to make this video and share some of the drawbacks of travel in Jordan from my experience. While there is a lot to love about Jordan, from all the amazing historic sites to the warm hospitality, there were a few things that really worked my nerves in the 5 days I spent traveling in Jordan. So keep watching for some of the things that I hated about traveling in Jordan. Number one, the security screenings in Amman. So one of the most annoying things about my trip to Jordan was the constant and borderline invasive security screenings everywhere we went in Amman. We stayed at a Hilton and we did most of our meals and other evenings out at hotels just because of the limited availability of alcohol in Jordan, which is something I discussed at length in my Jordan vlog if you want to go check that out. And literally every time you enter a hotel, you have to go through a pretty thorough security screening. So the taxi you pull up in will go through a vehicle check in which a guard carefully inspects the outside of the car, sometimes opens the trunk and the hood, presumably looking for explosives. Then once you get out of the car and enter the hotel, they make you put your bags on a scanner and then you walk through a metal detector. That's also sometimes followed by a frisk or a pat down. If you're female, they'll take you behind a privacy curtain and search you there. And while I understand they do all this for the safety of their staff and their guests, it can still be extremely annoying for the average tourist, but extremely triggering for Black travelers. There was once after I was taken behind the curtain for a pat down, my husband and I decided to linger around and see if they were doing the same thing to everyone who walked in after us. And they did. Everyone was searched the same way. So even though there was no discrimination or profiling at play, it still just changes the vibes and puts like all those negative thoughts in your head and puts you in a very uncomfortable place. Number two, how conservative it is. So while Jordan is more progressive than many other nations in the Middle East, there are still a lot of conservative practices that you need to be aware of, and it can be a little grating, especially when you're just trying to enjoy your vacation, and especially if you're traveling in Jordan as a single person. So first of all, in Jordan, sleeping with any unmarried member of the opposite sex is considered adultery, and that's punished by up to 3 years in prison. And yes, unlike other places, those laws do apply to foreigners. So same-sex couples should also exercise more caution. Homosexuality was decriminalized in Jordan in 1951, so while it's illegal, it's not exactly culturally or socially embraced. Public displays of affection between members of the same gender might be considered a disruption of the public peace, and those could be prosecuted. Even if you are legally married in your home country, it just won't be seen the same way. Of course, things will be more loosely enforced or even downright ignored if you're staying at a Western chain hotel like a Hilton or Marriott, so keep that in mind as you plan your trip, and maybe avoid some of those small like boutique-owned hotels or family-owned properties. I was traveling with my husband, and we also made sure to bring a copy of our marriage certificate just in case, and we generally avoided any public displays of affection, which was hard because we can be a pretty lovey-dovey couple. But we just wanted to avoid those uncomfortable stares and judgmental eyes and enjoy our time there. Number three, the extremely high prices. So Jordan is expensive. I don't know if you guys know that Jordan is extremely expensive. The currency is strong, with 1 JOD being equal to about $1.40, so the exchange rate does not work in your favor. And on top of that, the prices are high enough to just not make any damn sense. It was extremely frustrating to see premium, almost luxury prices on the most basic things, like a dusty hotel and mediocre food, just because that's the only thing available and they can get away with it. If you're planning a trip to Jordan, keep that in mind, save accordingly, and lower your expectations. The food was decent in Amman once you get into the international fine dining scene, but it will be mediocre at best near Petra and Wadi Rum, and that you will somehow be spending comparable amounts of money. And number four, the tourist traps everywhere. I hated the tourist traps everywhere. So millions of people travel to Jordan to see sites like the Dead Sea, Petra, and go glamping in Wadi Rum. So of course you shouldn't be surprised to hear that there are literally tourist traps everywhere. And Petra was the worst offender. So we spent 2 days in Petra, 1 day on our own, and then 1 day exploring with a local guide. When we were by ourselves, the second we stepped foot through the entrance, we were basically bombarded with a series of aggressive vendors, pushing everything from their secret Bedouin tours to camel rides. Even though no one really rides a camel in Petra, it's just for a little photo op in front of the treasury. It was like infinitely less stressful to go with the guide because all the other vendors didn't even try any of their shit when you're with a guide. If you do want to get to the viral Instagram photo spot with a view above the treasury, you do have to hire a local Bedouin guide to take you there. A Jordanian tour guide cannot take you. It has to be one of the Bedouins. Same for if you want to take one of the mules that are hired to take you all the way up to the monastery, which we did as well. So you might end up paying for a guide for the day, but then also spending money with the Bedouins to get certain spots. And of course, I had to get the photos from the viewpoint. Of course I did, y'all, for the gram. So our Jordanian tour guide helped us negotiate the price. The original was 20 JOD, but we got it down to 10 JOD. And while the climb up was pretty treacherous, the view was lovely and the mint tea they served was amazing. Overall, it was a really fun experience, but it can be an unanticipated expense. It could also make you feel vulnerable if you're traveling without a guide that can help you, because you never really know what's a scam or not. And also, make sure you're always polite to the Bedouins. Our Bedouin guide was really sweet to us, but I saw plenty of tourists getting cursed out and threatened for offending them. And if you think you're going to involve the police, don't even bother, because they will not be on your side. Jordanian local law favors the Bedouins, not you. So that is it, guys. Hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you're planning a trip to Jordan and any other questions you might have. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.